Hello everybody, here's a quick tour of my rabbitry at my backyard. It is about 24 feet wide and with a slanted roof made out of the corrugated white plastic roofing material, and it's all closed up with 1 by 1/2 inch galvanized wire. So first let's go inside in the door. And I have a total of 11 cages in here. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goes to the other side. 8, 9, 10, 11 down at the bottom. So I just put them all in cages within the last couple of months. The last set being all the young ones here. So I'm just giving these guys about a month to make sure that none of them are pregnant before I send them to a freezer camp. These are all females on this side, and these are the only 3 males. 1, 2, and then down here 3 males I had in the bunch of the colony. So because all my adults, these are all my adults on this side, my original ones, they're all about 3 years old. They're all also in the colony. They haven't been producing as they used to be anymore, as when I used to have them in cages prior to the colony. So now that they're back in cages, I'm trying to control them a bit more and try to get them back to speed to breeding. And so far they haven't been producing as many kits as they used to. Each one of these girls used to produce 8 to 10 kits, and now I usually don't get any litters, or if I do, then there's only like 2 or 3. And this actually this one right there, she's producing 1 or 2 that are alive, and then like 4 or 5 of them that are dead on arrival. It's summertime now. We are now in August. Temperatures have been really high in here in the hutch. Right now I have some digital thermometers, and this one says 91. This one says 83. And then this one back here says 89. So this is with the mister that just turned off. Now I have a misting system in here, up there at the very top. And that's the valve there. And I also have a 32-inch Home Depot fan. Both the misting system and the fan are connected to homemade thermostats too. So this guy on this side controls the fan, this one controls the misting system. So whenever the temperature is above 85 degrees, the fan turns on. Actually, when it gets to 88 degrees, it turns on. It turns off at 85 degrees. And then the mister turns on, let's check here. Three degrees above this, so at about 93 degrees the mister system turns on. And then here's the sensor for both the thermostats. Working really well. So on the cloudy days where it's not so hot, the mister doesn't have to turn on, and it's automatic. So it really reduces the load and work and worry on my part when it's really hot in the summers. Usually in the summers, my boy goes sterile, and I'm hoping that by having an automated system like this, keeping the temperatures down below 90 or below, will help keep from my boy getting sterile. So everybody's on a watering system. Everybody has a nipple. At the end of the run, there's a spigot. There's the end of one of the runs. There's a spigot to clean out the pipes. Like once a week, I'll just let it run at full pressure to clean out any kind of crud or stagnating water. And here's the spigot for the other side. And the waters run from city water, and this is on the outside of the hutch there. So the water comes up into a pressure regulator and then into the hutch through this pipe. There's two pipes going down, one's for the chickens and one's for the rabbits. And then that's the valve that's controlling the mister system. It's just a regular old sprinkler valve that I doubled up on the spring that's inside so that it can release or turn off when the thermostat sets to turn off. Because the misting system only puts out very little water, it doesn't break the valve and it won't close because there's not a lot of water coming out of it. So I had to double up on the spring inside the valve to be able to provide more pressure to help the valve close when the thermostat says to turn it off. The sprinkler valve runs off 24 volts. So I have power right there that runs to the sprinkler valve, to the thermostat, into this thermostat, and inside that thermostat I have a transformer, a 24 volt transformer, and it's just a big box store doorbell transformer that I stuck in there, and it works great. So far so good. Crossing my fingers, knocking on some wood. It's all been working out really well for the past month now with the misting system, keeping the temperatures down in the hutch. So the mister's now been off for about 10 minutes since the video started, and temperature on this guy now is 90, and on this guy right here it's 85. 86. Each cage has a hay feeder. I feed them Timothy and alfalfa hay, and each one has its own 2.5 pound feeder on these cages, and then I have some of the smaller ones too. I feed them at night because of the misting system moistens the food, and then it gets all gunked up and they can't eat it and it goes bad. So at nighttime I'll feed them. By daytime most of the food is gone, and any grow outs or pregnant does, I'll give them free feed. Everybody gets free hay all day long, and I change out the hay whether they eat it all or not, at least every other day. On the floor you can see where the colony used to be, and about 1 foot to 2 feet down there's wire. You can see that wire starts there and it kind of wraps around the floor to the other side, and I think that was probably one of my mistakes in creating the colony, is that I gave them too much room down low, too deep. So they would burrow, create tunnels. I would walk on top of the tunnels, break them. Babies would get lost, possibly, not sure. But And then all the rabbits, everybody was always dirty because they're always walking around all the poop, all the muddy floor because of the misting system or rain. So far everybody's cleaned up really well except for this one. This is my original male, and I'm trying to get him cleaned up and ready to start mating again. He is one stud buck. I have another boy over here, but he's doesn't always seem to be interested. He's not overweight. He eats well. He's not sick. All his parts look good. So, well, anyhow, this is my hutch, my tour of my hutch as it stands today, 2015 in August. And I have one litter of 9. 3 of them died. There were actually, this is one of the does that were on the floor, and I palpated her and I noticed that she was pregnant. I wasn't sure how far along, and a couple of days later, boom, she put out her first litter on the wire, and 3 of them had fallen out, or 4 of them I think, and 3 of them had died shortly after, like maybe by the 2nd or 3rd day. So there's 6 left. They're all big, fat, and plump. And it's in the middle of August in Florida, South Florida. Here she is. They've all been bred again, all of my adult females. And then you probably noticed, but the misting system is back on again. And there's the temperature for the misting system. But the thermometers by the cages are 92. This one says 88. This one says 92. So they all seem to be comfortable. When the misting system turns on, they usually get up and start walking, cleaning up themselves, drying themselves, eating hay. So sometimes, depending on which way the wind is blowing, we'll push the mist to one side of the hutch or the other. So I ordered some more misting tubing. This way I can put on the perimeter of the hutch all the way around. And so if the wind blows in one direction or the other, then everybody will still get it no matter what. So I'll post back again once I get the extra tubing to put around the entire hutch. But ever since the misting system has been on, the rabbits have been much, much happier. Especially the newly added rabbits that were on the floor still, that weren't used to being up high like this. They were panting like crazy when they first got into the cages. I guess they were used to the cooler weather or cooler temperatures on the ground. And so they finally seem to have calmed down. Their ears are not standing up anymore with their mouths open. Anyhow, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, comments, or like what you saw, please like and subscribe. And I'll try to bring out more of these videos as more updates, or if you guys have questions or clarifications that you'd like. So again, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again later.